Welcome all to Off the Cuff, and today I'm going to start this conversation with a few lines I wrote. कि मुद्दतों बाद उनसे मिलके पुराने ज़माने याद आ गए, कॉलेज में दिल धड़कने के सारे फसाने याद आ गए. So,
Wow.
well, I had never imagined that I'll be sitting in the close vicinity of the Monte Carlo man or the Digjam man. And we were all crazy about his ads in the 80s and 90s, I'll say. So, how are you doing, Naseer Abdullah?
Pretty good. It's been an interesting journey, and I got lucky, and the camera liked me, so I was not going to complain.
And we had nothing to complain about. We loved, your ads. So, thank you for giving me your time and inviting me to your wonderful home here in Fremont.
Well, I wish it was mine. It's my sister's.
Oh, your
but
sister's
okay.
home. It's like
But
your
it's
home
good.
too.
Thank
It's
you.
home to you, right? So.
Yeah.
And for people who are not old enough, I'd tell that Naseer Abdullah was a popular supermodel in the 80s and 90s, and then he forayed into Hindi films and English, and he was also doing a lot of work on television.
Little bit, yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I actually graduated to it. Mostly it was ad films. So they were
Yes.
short and sweet, and
Okay.
you didn't have to use your head very much. Just had to have a shower, shampoo your hair, shave,
Okay.
nails clean, and then they
Okay.
look after you.
Oh, okay. So you've been saying that, they were like short and I didn't have to do much. So like when you started modeling, what attracted you to it? Was it like quickly done? You didn't have to do much. What was about modeling that?
Well, what attracted me
Obviously,
was...
the way you looked was a.
Yeah, I had no
plus.
idea about my looks really. I mean,
Okay.
I thought I looked reasonably decent, but other
Okay.
friends of mine thought maybe I had a chance because so it was, the reason was unemployment. I didn't know what to do.
Okay.
And also a lack of, a goal or something to aspire for. So I didn't really know what to do.
Okay.
So when I was recommended to do this, I said, okay, let's try this. But I also realized that there are inhibitions and it's not easy to face the camera and be like cool. So that was really the reason. So it was just out of not having anything else to do that I agreed to do this for a lark. And then it grew slowly and I got better. And so that is the story. So it was not easy still. I mean, you do need to smile and look good, and then
Posture.
for a still shot it's okay. For a photo shot it's okay.
Okay.
You can give them that smile for a second or two, but if there's a dialogue to give, then it's in an ad film also it can be a little more demanding.
Very
but,
true.
But all in all, yes, you ultimately get the hang of it. You manage to psych yourself into looking good and doing the right thing for the photographer.
Oh, okay. When did you start? What was your age?
Oh my goodness,
Yeah.
1979 was my first
Oh,
ad for
okay.
a jeans ad. So I think I got a pair of jeans and 300 rupees, I think, or
Okay.
less, which I was reasonably happy with in those days.
Yeah.
So that's how I really started. But it didn't happen for a while to really, to pick up. But then slowly things happened, and I was, somehow spotted by, and I didn't try anything. I didn't leave my photos with anybody, nothing really.
Okay.
But somehow I knew a photographer, knew the people in the ad agency. So one after the other, they found out about me, and I got lucky. So I did a couple of those DCM ads those days. The
DCM.
Delhi Cloth Mills.
Yes.
They used to make shooting material. And I replaced Raj Babbar in the red and white ad.
Oh, wow.
We used to look a bit alike, but I was the handsomer version.
Absolutely.
Sorry, I have to show off because it's true.
But now that you're talking about those ads, those were the good old days for models, because the models were as popular as the film stars those days.
Pretty much,
Yeah.
yes. I mean, the film
we
stars...
remembered so many,
Yeah, film stars had the airs, like you had a Dharmender, you had a Shashi
obviously,
Kapoor, drop dead good looks, and then there was Sanjeev Kumar and the Manoj Kumars and the Feroz
Vinod
Khans.
Khanna, I think, did
Vinod Khanna, of course, my goodness, who can forget him? And you had the Zeenat Amans and all these, and they were acting in the movies. They started as models, but they very, very quickly ascended onto the film platform. I took 25 years to get there.
Oh, wow.
Slow, I'm a Taurian, I can't help it. Runs in the family.
Yeah. But see, we saw the beauty of in front of the camera, and we saw how you were dealing with it. But you were also going through a personal challenge of your own. You said in one of the interviews that you did have a stammer.
Yes. My God, okay.
Yeah. So how was that?
Okay.
Because then going into movies.
I was hoping to avoid that. I was hoping to avoid boring you with that, but since you brought it up, like
no,
like a snake,
it's inspiring. I think it's inspiring, and
it.
people who are watching should know that.
Yeah,
because
right.
it's not about a pretty face. It's also about the struggles that people go through.
So you're right, and I can make it writer for you. I was a pretty face. I got to become a pretty face, and I didn't know what to do with the pretty face, because the pretty face does not really get you a job, because you have to have the qualifications, you have to have the ability or something. I didn't have it because of the stammer. I stayed in the business of ad films, short film, because I didn't have to say much.
Yeah.
Because when I have to say much, I would get a bit tense. So that's why I avoided the films. And I auditioned for a couple of the TV serials. There was a serial called Commando, where they wanted me to replace someone else, who was not as suave looking as me, James Bondy type. So he was like average looking. One guy was not really at all nice. I don't know names, fortunately, so they're gonna forgive me if they think it's them. And so, but I screwed up. The Adhikari brothers, Gautam, the Sri Adhikari brothers, SAB, Sub TV. They called me and they said, give us the lines, deliver your dialogues well, and we'll make you a star. You don't have to worry about anything else. And I couldn't. I got flustered because I had that problem. So I would have this inhibition drawing, and suddenly something would show up, and I would lose my focus. And so I said, this is. So I stayed in the business of advertising, doing ad films for 25 years, mostly, and I was happy with that. It was wonderful. They look after you. Air-conditioned room. You're flirting with the lady who has to play your wife. She's not your real wife. So you can't flirt with her. And I was not married then.
Okay.
And so, it was fun. And there was a guy, a man Friday, saying, Sir, aapke liye kya laun?
What else do you want?
Omelette pao, ye wo, vada pao. And I'm like, okay. And there's an air conditioning in the room. And the studios in those days were without air conditioning. So people were slogging their backside off, and I was sitting here relaxing, and my new clothes were hanging there.
So you were privileged, I'll say,
so they look after you, they give you a good time, and then they give you a check. I said, this is heaven. I ain't gonna leave it.
So how did you overcome this condition?
Over a period of the time, I went to for some physiotherapy, and then I found ways and means of diverting my way of speaking, and in English. I worked on Gandhi, the movie, as a location manager. So I was about to be fired because after a week I had no idea where I was, and they were asking me, Naseer, what's that? And I had no answers at the time. So one day this guy asked me in the morning at 5:30 in the morning, the lights had fused and the artist ran, and he said, Naseer, what's wrong with the lights? I mean, what's wrong with the generator? And I said, these are army whatever generators, they can't handle the heaters which you're using for the actors to warm the buses inside, so they blow a fuse. So I said it in an English accent, I faked it so well. This was 35 years ago, if not 40.
Okay.
So he looked at me like he had seen a ghost. It was 5:30 in the morning, darkish. I said, okay, Naseer, thank you. And he actually smiled, like, kya dialogue diya isne? That's what he must have thought. And he walked away.
Wow.
Then the word spread that this guy speaks very good English. So one of them came up to me and took me away, a special effects man, and he said, Naseer, where did you learn your English from? I said, from home, Delhi Public School, Mathura Road. So he said, man, you speak better English than me. So I faked it so well. last show off, and then I'll shut up. There was a lady called Gronya O'Shannon who was the location manager on Dr. Zhivago. You can imagine. She was 65 then and was, battling cancer, whatever, but she was very up there. She was my boss's boss. She was a very grumpy lady and always after my life. But at a certain time, when she was in a good mood, she heard me speaking, and she was, my in charge in a way also. She looked at me and told the others, she said, look at him. He speaks just like a public school student from London. And I've not even been to London, as a tourist also. So I was saying, Kya baat hai Nasir, well done.
Pass ho gaye, pass ho gaye.
I know. So I retained that accent because it helped me to speak a bit better in a flow, as I'm doing now, I guess. And using my hands to pull the words out of my mouth so they don't get stuck. So that's my story.
You are an amazing speaker, I have to say. And
now, you should have seen me then. I was known as the stammerer of the stammerer. I didn't get work in the movies because I had a problem. So I stayed in the business of these movies, short and sweet, 26 seconds. They show me, they show the wife, they show the mixie working. How much will they show? In 26 seconds, what all will they show? They can't show me doing a dance number like Shashi Kapoor.
So even I think Hrithik Roshan also had this.
He did. But he was a luckier man. His father sent him to the right place to have it sorted out. My father didn't send me any place.
You did it on your own, and
kind of. That's why it took so long.
So now coming to my next question about your lovely movie, Mitr, my friend. This is the DVD he had, and it took me back to the DVD days, So So I think this movie is available on YouTube also, and.
But the Hindi version, the original version is in English, and as I told you, I can fake my English very well. So I even faked an American accent, and they hired me. I was also good looking, by the way. I repeat.
You still are.
No, see, I forced her to say that.
Fishing for compliments, but I'll give it.
Exactly, I forced her to say that. Because I said very humbly, I was also good looking. I repeat, I was. I said I was, okay? So I'm not showing off. She forced that on me. Said, but you even now are.
Okay.
My lips
Going
are
on
sealed.
to Mitr now. Yes, okay, No, and I'm telling the truth. There's no, I'm sitting right so close to him, and I can see that. And so talking about this movie, Mitr, it won 3 national awards for the best actress, best English film, and editing.
Best editing.
And best editing.
Here's the truth why Shobana, my wife in the film, got the Best Actress award. It was my doing again. I helped her. And here I'll tell you. The jury members watching the film, they saw, I made her cry like 25 times in the film. She cried and wept. So the jury guy said, man, give her the award, man. She's crying too much. So it's because of me. I made her life miserable.
Behind every successful woman, there is a surprised man.
You heard the truth from the lady. She has done extensive research now and reversed the tables.
I watched the movie yesterday. So anyway, this is, it is very relatable for all NRIs. And, NRIs are always trying to fit in, even when they're here or when they go back to India, even then they're trying to fit in that space. So are you comfortable with your cultural identity, especially now in today's India? I know it's a serious.
Yeah, I'm very cool. I'm a reasonably cool guy, actually, so that helps. And I have seen things on which a lot of other Muslim people maybe don't see and experience. I've been on the other side. I've been to ashrams and other places and lived there. And I have been like 30 times or more to different ashrams. So there is a beauty in the Indian culture, and there's a beauty in the Indian dharma, and there's a beauty in their style of worshipping, their devotional worshipping, which is very, very, very similar to the Sufi movement. So the later people evolved this other form, I would imagine, after being influenced by the Hindu culture of worshipping their gods and being devoted to them and expressing devotion and love for them. Straightforward, just love, no other stuff.
Love is the...
Yeah, so in that way, I have done well and I have enjoyed the journey. And it's been very, very useful for me as well, because visiting these ashram and meeting all these other gurus like Sri Ravi Shankar Ji, Sadhguru, Satya Sai Baba, it's been a very enriching experience.
Absolutely.
and very helpful, very motivating. And I believe I was showered with some grace also in a few of the petals. Yeah, that's why I'm still a bit good looking. A bit. Sorry.
I'm not going to say.
I'm going to stay for my lecture. All yours.
Okay.
All yours.
Yeah. I think you have to have an open heart and acceptance for all. That's what I feel, and that's what I thought that you are following. So.
It's important to do that, because you've got to understand that God, and we all think we know God very well. I don't think we do, but one thing is for sure, God is not petty. He's not like us. He's made us in his light or something, in his shadow or in his resemblance, out of him, but he's not us. We are messed up. We get messed up. God doesn't think like us. Firstly, I don't think he has to think.
Yes.
He's like the boss. He's like, just one yawn and everybody will be gone. Like if he yawns, we're all gone. If he chooses. So that is essential to understand. So I don't think the super spirit, the divine power can mess up. Period. You have an eclipse, they tell you now, the people tell you where it will be seen, what time to what time. It will be seen in Aligarh, but won't be seen in Chennai. But it will be seen in San Francisco and not seen in Mexico. So they know there is a system. So there is a system. So if there is a system, we are a part of the system. But we think we are a bit different, no? We are like doing our own Bharatnatyam. Doing our little. Okay. So just to tell you that I kind of understand that now, that to God it doesn't matter how you venerate him, how you worship him. It doesn't matter. He's cool. He just looks at the intent. He doesn't even look at it. He knows. He doesn't have to know. Acha, isko dekho, ye kya kar raha hai, no. It's all automatic for him. Okay. So no big deal.
बस श्रद्धा से आओ और जहाँ भी आपने जाना है वहाँ आपको ब्लेसिंग्स मिलेंगी. मैं तो बिल्कुल यही आप कह रहे हैं. और science and spirituality, the dialogue can go on forever, because we are living in the Silicon Valley. And I did see one of your panel discussions on television, on one of those television newscasts where everybody was shouting. Actually, I've stopped watching TV news. I don't want to have my blood pressure, raised up. And everybody shouting, and then Naseer is going, मैं कह रहा हूँ. It's like, we are too, humans are too small to, disrespect God. God cannot be disrespected.
I said that.
I said you hit the nail on the head, but nobody was listening in that. And it was,
At some other occasion they were, because I have to repeat
but
myself.
I know. I mean, the audience listened, I guess.
I even said once they were going accusing each other's whatever party just before the election results were announced. They're all saying, accusing the other party, and then they came to me and I began to say, and I said, look, we don't know. Anything can happen, and it has happened before. We expect something and other things happen. So Rubika was getting impatient with me. She said, Naseer Saab, aap ye bataiye ki aap kya chahte hain? So I knew this was a trap. No, they want me to say kaun si party aaye, kaun sa aadmi ko nikal diya jaye. तो मैंने कहा मैं तो ये चाहता हूँ कि मेरी शादी हो जाए. So it was a recording, there was an audience. So suddenly I took everything off.
But my question was, how can we be more civil about, our differences these days? If you can, address that.
I think we need to be re-educated in how to conduct ourselves with each other. We should allow everybody to speak. Even I have that problem. I interrupt the people. But if somebody is really saying something horrendous, then I will interrupt them and say, man, grow up. But if somebody just wants to do it to anangify me and to make me stumble, so either the anchor will do it because, they can switch off, or they can just switch me off. Like, they can just overshout over me and say, अब मैं जाती हूँ Professor Solanki के पास और Swapnil Kothari के पास. So there was one lady who was always after me, out to destroy me and demean me. She was very pro whatever. So she kept demeaning me. I said, मेरी बहन, मेरी माँ मुझे बोलने दे.
What you were saying is just basically, relearn and learn about people.
Yes, we need to give them space. And of course, if we are already predisposed and preconditioned कि भाई तुमने यही बोलना है, then it's another story. But we have to be honest and understanding and give everybody a space to say. And bad words, personal attacks are not allowed, but I've been attacked.
Yes.
I've been attacked by
Everyone,
other people, and they say all kinds of things. They've actually given me dhamkis on a show sometimes, which is, I'm still alive, thank you God. Mommy will be pleased. See you soon, Mom.
I know. You've seen a lot and done a lot, but what kind of a space are you in at the present moment, and what are you doing? I see those lovely basuris there, which definitely it will be such an honor and a pleasure to listen to that. But what are you doing these days?
I am just being easy when there's work. I head to Bombay. Now I am based out of Delhi. And so recently I did an ad film for a fan where I was very funny.
I saw that. Yes.
And I said, "Kafi hot hai," and they think it is for the girl, but I meant for the client.
I know that.
So I was innocent, and it was proved beyond a reasonable doubt. So I do stuff, but I have dreams of doing public service films, short ones against drinking and driving, which we have a problem everywhere in the world, and in India it's a growing menace. These young boys, they get drunk and they want to show off to the girlfriend how well they drive, and they end up against a tree, and then they go occasionally straight to heaven. And a film against, the one thing that is very, very dear to me is a film which I've already made and shown to the CM then against the idea of the molestation and the harassment and the rape of our women. And I made this film after the Nirbhaya episode and showed it to Sheila Dikshit. Then she fell on her face, not for me, she fell on her face. She was so impressed. She had me call at the Mantralaya and said, "Naseer, we all love this film. We've been watching it." And they said, "We're going to buy it from you." So it was to be made again because I just shot it, and to be shown in the movie theaters because it was a 2-minute film. It was a long, like a build-up.
Okay.
So, but then certain things happened and it didn't work out.
So it's not available on online anywhere?
No, I'll have to show it actually personally because it was not ultimately sanctioned. It was not, made with that intention.
Okay.
I had made what you call a sample. pilot
so
of the
you
film.
were planning to...
to reshoot it
Obviously
again. But she was so impressed with my work. She was like, so I felt so proud. I began to levitate because I was feeling not very, very good those days. I was a bit depressed. I don't know why, but so stuff happened. So that's my passion, to make very short films. I don't want to make a long feature film.
Sometimes
just chitting, tish. 30 seconds over. That's what I used to do. I used to face the camera for that.
And that could be very impactful.
Yeah.
Who has time for 2-hour films now? 3 hours,
they do.
And then you come out with a headache.
Sometimes it's
But Naseer, I am looking forward to listening to anything that you'd like to play.
I'm trying to look like Pandit Shiv Kumar, the Santoor player. They recently met me at a coffee shop in Khan Market, and two ladies, grown up, someone like her and her daughter, who was 25 at least, and they said, "Oh, hi, how are you? Good to see you." I said, I said, "Oh, hi, nice to meet you, sir. Nice to meet you, Ustad ji." So I freaked. I said, "Ustad, I'm more like Rezad Gustad." So I said, I think they said, "Aren't you Ustad?" I said, "Ustad who?" They said, "Zakir Hussain." I said, "No." I said, "He's much older. How could you mistake me for him?" And I said, "Plus I'm more good looking." How could you go so far? They laughed just like you're laughing.
Okay.
They laughed at Kacha because they felt so embarrassed also because it was true.
Yeah.
He's older and I'm better looking. How can you make a mistake?
Yeah.
They mistake me for Jayant
Just the
Triplani.
wild
Totally.
white hair gets.
तो लग रहा है फिर से रंगना पड़ेगा.
No.
मेरा रंग
White
दे
is good.
बसंती
White is perfect.
मेरा रंग दे. I'm going to play Piya To Sahi Na Lage.
Okay,
All the
right.
women from the age group of 8 to 188 know the song, so I'm not worried at all. But I thought I'd tell you before. Half song. Thank you.
Woo.
I could do better, but I
This
get nervous
was
now.
lovely.
Ouch, that hurts.
Really.
Okay, sorry.
This was like आंखें बंद हो जाती हैं खुद ही and
आंखें बंद इसलिए हो
ये
जाती
भी
हैं कि
self-taught
आप
है?
हाँ जी.
Oh my
मैंने
God.
खुद ही सीखा, but I took a long time to learn because I didn't have a teacher. I was just
Wow.
fiddling around. One day I got one song and I was like,
Amazing.
it's like Eureka, you've discovered a new principle of gravity. Like, oh, and then I started to get more. Then I began to play on the harmonium. So because when you play the flute, you can't sing. So I want to sing.
Yeah.
Okay, can I give you a line of a Pearl Padamsee song?
Absolutely. Please.
It's a song called Diya Jalao by K.L. Sehgal.
Sehgal.
By K.L. Sehgal. From Tansen, the movie, black and white, before you all were born, and even me. Dina sunai suraj binai aur chanda binarainai ghar sunai दीपक बिनाय ज्योति बिन दो नैनाय दिया जलाओ जगमग जगमग दिया जलाओ जगमग जगमग दिया जलाओ दिया जलाओ दिया मनाओ दिया जलाओ दिया मनाओ जगमग 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 दिया जलाओ सरस सुहागन सुनरी सरस सुहागन सुनरी सरस सुहागन सुनरी तेरे मंदिरा में देखा अंधेरा तेरे मंदिरा में देखा अंधेरा रूठ न जाए दिया तेरा रूठ न जाए दिया तेरा आ जाओ दिया जलाओ दिया मनाओ दिया जलाओ दिया मनाओ जगमगा 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 दिया जलाओ. Thank you.
Whoa, lovely, lovely, lovely. देखिए ये ब्रिटिश एक्सेंट में भी बहुत
Sehgal.
के गाने भी तो अगर आपको इसका
I have to collaborate. There is a rumor going around कि सेगल की आत्मा मेरे अंदर समा गई है. I tell you, I'm not joking.
Yeah, with
They're
the
saying
British.
it. मैंने नहीं किया ये बात.
I know, but so lovely,
Thank you.
and it was amazing talking to you, Naseer. Okay, you are
That's the
any
meeting call.
other things that you can do?
This is the mating call of the dove. I call them, they come, I swear to God, and I can prove it, but we don't have the time.
Anything else on your bucket list before we go?
I was a boxer. Only for about 5 weeks.
Only
And
5 weeks.
Somebody
Okay.
punched me on the nose, I began to bleed, I said no more.
No
Okay.
pictures on the pretty face. So, Naseer, thank you so much for giving me the time.
Thank you,
and
madam.
This was lovely. Yeah,
It was
what
an
you
honor. It is an honor. Was means it's in the past.
Ah.
It is still, I'm still feeling honored.
My honor. Thank you.
Thank you so
and
much.
See, देखो, देर आए दुरुस्त आए, dreams do come true. जो college में देखे थे वो अभी पूरे हो गए. So, bye-bye, take care. Hope you enjoyed this conversation on Off the Cuff with Namrita, with the very suave and debonair, still, Naseer Abdullah. Bye-bye.
Thank you.